Hello and welcome everyone to Jekyll Geek's RPG Realm. I'm Jekyll Geek and this is my RPG Realm. After finishing my solo play series of videos on the Ryuutama Natural Fantasy RPG, I've decided to give my review of this pretty much because I decided to review pretty much all the RPGs I do a solo play of. And this being my fifth review, let me give my thoughts on this. First, an overview. Ryutama is a RPG that translates to the words dragon egg, and was originally a Japanese RPG created by a guy. Let's see, and translated to English by Kotodama Heavy Industries, and is playable on RPG drive through to get the uh, PDF of the game. Which and as of this recording, you can buy it in English on a drive through RPG for $11.44 for the zip file. As for the RPG itself, it is a somewhat a rules-like system where each of the characters you pick a type. You don't pick your race. You're pretty much all the characters are humans, and you have it. You pick from seven classes: minstrel, merchant, hunter, healer, farmer, artisan, and noble. And most of these are very low powered classes. Whereas, for example, you generally don't expect to play, say, a farmer, but for example, the hunter, which I have, just has some basic actions which allow them to uh, trap uh, trap and find food and find tracks. So don't expect to be saving the world or anything in a Ryutama RPG session. As for stats in Ryutama, there are four stats which each of the character has. Strength, which is strength and constitution melded into one. Dexterity, intelligence, and spirit, which is a combination of your wisdom and willpower, and charisma. As for example, the merchant class uses intelligence and spirit for their their merchant based bargaining skills. And each of these stats is a die, which goes from a D4, which is the weakest, to upwards of a D12, which you can only much get if you get some advancements as well as some bonuses, which I'll talk about later. And as well as picking a class and your stats, you also have a type, which you have an attack type, which offers some mild mild attack bonuses and weapon proficiencies, as you get one extra point of damage in combat and 4 extra HP. But that's only once. It's not like a fighter that gets better stuff every level they grow up. A technical type, which gives you a bonus to concentration and initiative, and initiative is very important in this game. And a magic type, which gives you some extra MP as well as two spells and your seasonal magic. And I found the seasonal magic. I only played with a spring magic type, and what you have to start off is really incidental at best. And I'd say with when it comes with power, pretty much your biggest power boosts would be say the shooting star and cure touch, which would be a basic attack spell and a healing spell. Although I look and see there would be some possible ones that are good for your camping and travel. And camping and travel is very important to Ryutama. And I will go into that next with saying that Ryuutama is a game that has quite a bit to do with travel. As one of the important things in this game is there's a rather I wouldn't say super detailed system for travel, but there is an important system for travel, which I went through several times during my let's play. And you find with this travel that all of your, so to speak, attributes are important because as you start off with making a condition check, which can determine if you get a bonus or a penalty at the start of your day, like say you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, or if you roll really well on your strength plus spirit roll, you get a bonus of a bonus to one of your attributes as the attribute die that you roll increases by one of your, and you choose one of your choice. For example, uh, instead of rolling a d6 to make your strength checks for the day, you can roll a d8, and you can choose this to be in your not stamina, your spirit, your intellect, or dexterity as well. And then after you do that, you make a journey roll, and your journey roll is based partially on the weather, which one time I rolled up a thunderstorm, which uh, increased my modifier by three, but you have also your base roll, depending on where you are. Say if you're on grasslands, it's a difficulty of six. And if you're going over the mountains in a blizzard, you have to get a difficulty of 19. And if you fail, you actually lose hit points. So it is rather important to have a good strength plus dex to make your journey rolls. And then finally, at the end of the day, someone rolls a camping check with it is a dex plus intelligence, which is also modified by gear, which is gear is fairly important to Ryutama, and not just your usual dungeoneering gear like your 10-foot pole or your iron spikes, but stuff like a sun hat or to deal with hot weather, or a warm cloak or clothes to deal with cold weather, because that determines how well you can make your travel checks. And also stuff like a tent, which helps with your camping checks. And your camping checks determines how much you actually heal at the end of the day. That could go for, at the very least, a like a fumble, which is if you roll two ones on your camping check, no recovery occurs at all. But a critical is everyone increases all their HP and all their MP, no matter how much they've lost. So yeah, it's very important to have your camping and travel stuff in order. There is also a combat system to Ryutama, which I found somewhat interesting. It's a rather rules light system where you just roll your stats. But the really interesting thing with Ryutama is you roll your initiative, and your initiative also counts as your armor class for this game, for your combat. So it is very important to have a very good initiative as to not get hit and fall unconscious. But other than that, there isn't too much complexity. And but on the other hand, this game is a rather light and fluffy game, so don't expect a big and brutal system for playing this game. I found this is a rather easygoing type of game that is more stated. to cooperative role playing and cooperative storytelling. As for example, there is in fact a quote unquote DMPC, which is called the Ryujin. But the thing is, what the Ryujin does is they give out little benedictions which help out the party a bit. Which the idea is just to tell a story together rather than to have the game master grind the party into dust. So just remember that when you're starting a game of Ryuutama. As to my overall feelings on the system, I found it an okay system. Not a really great system, but I found it interesting to play, especially for the travel rules. And I'm actually looking forward to creating a video incorporating the travel rules for Ryutama into a different RPG system and seeing how that would work. And yeah, I'd say it's not a great RPG, but as I said, you can get the PDF of it for less than $12 on Drive Through RPG. And if you're looking for at least a nice travel system or maybe a light system to play a story of lighthearted travel with your friends, yeah, I'd suggest picking Ryutama up. But that is my review of the game, and I hope you found this video slightly educational and somewhat entertaining, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.